We live. Yo, 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 yo. What up?
Oh, I know that was the cue.
We live.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Play the beat so I know it's real.
Hey, hey. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Honor Among Men podcast. I'm Brother David.
Okay.
We got Mr. Maverick in the building.
What's the word, baby?
Hey, we got Mikey Mike in the building.
Praise the Lord, O house.
Yes, indeed. And we have a special guest. Sorry, nah. We got the face you'll never see in the place to be. Drew Young in the building.
What's good, family? What's good?
Hey.
Hey, what up? What up? This is the Honor Among Men podcast. We on most social media platforms: Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram. Where else we at?
Oh, then we on SoundCloud, huh?
We on SoundCloud, Facebook,
how that's looking on
SoundCloud,
there?
Instagram, YouTube. They be checking us out on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. SoundCloud is where you go to check out new stuff. You know what I mean? That's really why I be on it like that.
No, you should.
SoundCloud is where you go check out new stuff?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Oh, I need to start looking on the SoundCloud.
Yeah. SoundCloud. is
That's
where
why
you go
every
and
time Andrew make fun of me, like, bro, that's old.
check out that obscure new.
I think I'm listening to new Christian hip hop. I heard that 2 years ago.
That's 2 years old.
Yeah,
brother.
I did do that. I just had to put you in your place, bro.
Oh,
You were way out of
back.
pocket.
Welcome back. Can you get the dun dun dun? Like he got. It's not me. I want y'all to
He
understand
said
it's not me.
Welcome back, my brother. You know what I mean? You back.
But what he need to get on this sound thing next time is that Ja Rule. We gonna clap back because I'm coming. 'Cause I'm coming.
For real.
He took it there.
You took it, definitely took it there. Clapback was trash too.
Terrible.
But that was like a little thing. That beat was fire though.
I think I did like that beat,
The beat was fire.
Can somebody
was
help me
definitely fire.
make a watch party?
It's
Because I
already on
can't
there.
see.
but
No,
I'm trying to
I'm
make
Why you
it
got a
on
watch
now.
party
We got
if
to
you can't
produce-
see?
we
You
got
gotta
the
be able to
producer in
watch
the
the
building.
party.
You gotta be able to watch the watch party.
Hey, blind joke.
Gotta get him.
Everybody been
Drew
coming
Younger.
at me today. I don't know what I done done to y'all.
Hey, Drew Younger,
Yo, what's up?
help the young man over there, brother.
You see what my cup say?
See what your cup
What
say.
does your cup say?
You read? He started with me.
Man, yeah, I guess you just gonna continue, huh?
Look, tick for tat.
Tit for tat.
Bible say, don't do that. I
Okay,
mean,
all right, my man.
yeah, I'm not gonna mess up the
The
word.
Bible say.
I wanted to see where it was going.
Man, I'm not a man, no. I'm a man.
That's God.
That's God. Huh?
That's Jesus, brother.
Yeah,
He not a
yeah,
man,
yeah,
no.
yeah,
He should
yeah.
lie.
What y'all been up to though, man? How was
The
everybody's
devil
weekend?
took him into a high place,
Uh-huh.
and he tried to tempt the Lord.
Indeed he
He
did.
did. I was in John, like 4 or 5, something like that. I
Yeah,
think.
John.
Yeah.
Chapter
And when he
4
tried
for
to tempt
sure.
the Lord, what did the Lord say?
What did the Lord say?
I'm asking y'all.
Thou shalt
I
not
didn't
tempt
read-
the Lord thy God.
I didn't read that
That
much.
sums it
Thou
up.
shalt not tempt the Lord thy God.
I will give you all of this if you bow down and worship me. Like, whoa, what do you think this is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gangster. We just getting a turn on to us, share, like,
Turn
subscribe.
on to like, subscribe, share.
Start a watch party. Hey, but if you have a watch
YouTube,
party, I just found
SoundCloud.
this out.
Okay.
I didn't know this. So if somebody else got a watch party,
Mm-hmm.
I learned this from Bishop. Y'all about to laugh. Cause I'm old.
I'm already
Too.
laughing.
So if somebody
Wait.
else got a watch party,
Right, he did it. He did
He
it.
definitely did. Go ahead,
Yeah.
bro. Go ahead.
I
Talk
didn't call
about my
Bishop
bishop.
old. did I?
Somebody else got a watch party.
Because I just figured this out, and he older than me, so I'm like, hold on, how he know this? I don't know this. I don't know. I'm supposed to be technology. Whatever. I digress. What I'm trying to figure out is, say Rick had a watch party, and
Okay.
I got my own watch party.
Okay.
Stuff people post in Rick watch party, I can't see.
Rick has to be watching his watch party to see what the comments are gonna be.
But I can't see them.
You won't unless you're a part of Rick's
watch
watch
party.
party. You will only be able to see stuff from your watch party. Like he'll be only able to see stuff from his watch party.
So do they have like a Facebook book for dummies?
You
We
know
gotta
what?
copy,
Teach you how to
like,
use
copy
it,
and
'cause
paste.
I'm
You gotta like copy and paste the comments. Drew Younger would know, but you gotta.
Oh,
copy
you got to
and paste.
copy and paste comments to like the
main,
original hub.
if you
Oh,
want.
okay. See, that's something I didn't
or just
necessarily.
read off of it.
You really can't do that. So what I do is I just copy and paste everything to PM during the table talk thing. So he can
Oh,
actually
like
see.
text message him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They
man,
do
there
have
we go.
they do have like a technology, like a software to do it, but it's mad expensive.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm sure it is.
That's where they
Good
get
deal.
you.
Yeah, man. Good
I
deal.
just realized that out.
What you do this weekend, though, Mikey Mike?
Oh. You know, I don't even remember.
You don't remember?
Oh, I
what
went to a
Dang.
wedding. I'm like, man, it was a weekend.
It was the weekend.
I went to a wedding, celebrated
Party
my
that
homegirl, her wedding. She got married. Congratulations.
Hey, congratulations to the
I
homegirl.
love weddings, man.
Yeah,
Especially when it's like a live wedding.
yeah. What you mean, like
Like a
a
fun
hype?
wedding.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah,
like a
fun,
fun Yeah.
fun,
vibe,
fun.
yeah.
I say, oh, they do that?
Yeah, no,
love
that's
weddings.
dope. The homie did a live wedding though. Matthew.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he
yeah,
did,
live,
yeah.
He Facebook lived his wedding. That's dope. Yeah, weddings. Women be shopping.
Well, crashing weddings.
Crash weddings. I know somebody that did that.
I've never done. I've always been like too like
Nervous.
to like crash a wedding.
I know somebody
Well,
at this
is it-
table that did it.
But is it considered crashing if you know, like, just a
cold.
groomsman?
No, that's not.
Yes.
I don't think. Well, okay, so maybe it's crashing if you wasn't invited. If you wasn't invited and you
I
come.
definitely wasn't invited.
Okay, well yeah, you
And I
crashed.
ate up everything. I'm talking
I mean, I wasn't gonna say
It's
no
only
name.
it's only
You
right.
was standing by the food table like I
talking
gotta
about-
eat 5 times a day.
talking about we're playing
I'm
games
lifting.
because they allow people to eat first if you won like musical chairs or something
Oh
like that.
word!
So,
Hey, you
I'm
was
telling-
bullying people.
Man, if you sat at my table, man, you better. We're trying to eat. Like, who are you?
You
Don't worry
come.
about it. I'm
Don't
trying to
worry
eat.
about who I am.
Man, what?
I know the groom.
Man, what?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Too funny. What you do this weekend? You ain't crash no weddings this weekend.
I ain't crashed no weddings this week.
I should have hit you up.
Man, you should have. I definitely would have slid through.
That's
I promise you.
funny.
I promise you I would have slid through.
Like, hey, cousin. Walked in, everybody Spanish. Like,
Right.
Hey, I fall right in line. Whatever. Hey, what?
Hacienda. He be saying words that don't make no sense.
Hey, all
I'm
that.
Dominican.
Hey, no, I do tell people I'm Cuban, so I fall right
You
in
could
line.
pass.
I
We
fall
could probably
right in
all
line.
pass. I probably can't though.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
not you.
for me.
Yeah, I think you could.
Who?
I think you could probably pass for like Dominican or
Dominican,
something.
I'm 100% black.
Whenever somebody try to correct my Spanish, I tell them that's how we say it on the west side of Cuba.
Hey, see that? See that? That's how
Every
we
time,
say
like,
it on
don't
the
you dare
west.
try to correct me.
Don't you dare. That's how we say it on the west side of
On the
Cuba.
west side. Only on the west side, though.
You know what I mean?
But what we doing today? How was your weekend?
My weekend was great. Yeah, my weekend was actually really,
That actually sounded believable, too.
Like
yeah,
the
it
cereal.
was. It was. My weekend was great. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Helped one of the homies move. You know what I'm saying? I helped Mr. Selfless himself. Move some furniture around. You know
I
what I
hate
mean?
moving.
I actually do hate moving, but this wasn't like a real move. This was like, oh, let's go pick up this piece of furniture, drop it back off. To me, like stuff like that, like that's cool. You know what, man? Like I'm over it. Like as far as like, oh my God, it's so hot. I was thinking this weekend actually, like I'm gonna just go to the sporting goods store. And I'm just gonna make sweatbands a part of my my
I can't do it.
attire.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Well, you
make.
don't have to worry about a hairline receding, so, yeah. There you have it.
Hey, you know he on fire today.
All right, brother. It's enough out of you, Andrew.
Turn your radio down.
Turn your radio down. What would you do this weekend, big dog? Brother. You know what I'm saying?
Talking about that move, I was included in that move.
Oh yeah, you definitely was included in that
And,
move.
They talking about me.
If it had not been for you, that move might not have happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And besides that basically got me out the house, and I after having the heat on me a little bit,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going back out until Sunday.
Being in the heat will make you appreciate being in the crib,
Bro,
You know what I'm
it
saying?
will.
You gotta get out in this heat a little bit.
And
It's
I-
good
and
for
I-
your bones too.
And I'm not a homebody. I used to be, but I'm not anymore, and
Okay.
that just had me stay in the house.
But it
So,
drains you,
you know,
dog.
It definitely does. You gotta be periodic with it. You know what I'm saying? You can't be out here in this heat
Man, you gotta take your maca root. Shing.
Okay.
You gonna,
What do Makaru do?
That was the
It
plug.
gives you that energy.
That was the plug.
Yeah, that energy.
It increases
Hey,
your
Andrew.
vitality.
Yeah.
who's this on
man.
my who's on here live with me?
Melanated people need that heat. We need that heat. We need that sun. It's good for us. So if you got some melanin in your skin, get out there in that heat, man. You know what I mean?
Shout out to
Get
all you that's
out
watching with me
there in that heat.
on my party. I got
Yeah, we
my
got
party
we got a
bumping.
few people watching with watch parties on the groups. Big shout out to you guys.
Yeah,
And
big
all the
shout out
groups
to
that are being
y'all.
shared.
Big
Go
shout
ahead and
out
like,
to
share,
y'all.
subscribe, do all that good stuff.
Do all that
Make
good
us
stuff,
pop,
man.
All that stuff.
My party bumping though. Look at this.
He
Yeah,
said
man.
my
Shout out
party-
to everybody on the party. For
My
sure.
party bumping.
You know what I'm saying? Like pimple bumping. You hear me?
All right. What's up with y'all?
Moving on.
What's up with
What we
y'all
talking about
today?
tonight?
We got some topics, you know what I'm saying? We got a few topics. First of all, first and foremost,
What?
you know what I mean, it's National Chicken Wing Day.
Amen. There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Today?
Yeah, today.
Heary,
I
heary.
thought that was every day.
I'm going to Pop House tonight.
It wouldn't be National Chicken Wing Day if it was every day.
Why does everything
You-
have to have a day?
Hey, now that's something to talk
When
about.
did this
too.
start? You know, it started in social media.
No,
Yeah.
definitely. It's definitely a
Like-
social media era thing for sure. My cousin, we got this little group chat, me and my first cousins. And so one of them posted in the group chat, Happy Cousins, Happy National Cousins Day. I was like, dang, I didn't even know that existed. I was on board though, you know what I'm saying? Because I love my cousins, but it's just so funny, man. Like everything has a day.
Donut day.
Right.
Come on. If you want a donut, just get
Just get you a donut. You want to celebrate donuts, you know what I mean?
Do they
Just
got
go
Happy
ahead.
Watch TV Day? Because I want to
Binge.
join in that. I just want to watch TV. No, don't bother me. It's Watch TV
It's
Day.
National Watch TV Day.
Hey, so since we're talking about it, y'all want to get some wings afterwards? Like, is it free?
Well, it's definitely not free.
Oh, then it's
40
not.
cent.
It's not real.
Yeah.
I know, huh? Now that's hey,
Right, you said what percent? 40?
it's 40 cent wing day at Native.
But that's normal.
That's a good.
That is like a normal Tuesday, right?
Yeah, native.
But
used
it's
to be
Monday.
Like, but native used to be like 20 cents.
So yeah, I remember that. I actually remember when Native was like 20 cent wings. Yeah, that used to be the
Those
love.
wings
And
is one
it
of
used to be real chicken too.
Go get you a
What kind
yeah,
of
not
chicken
that
is that?
hormone, not the GMO. You know
Well,
what
now
I'm
it's pigeon.
Hey,
oh,
who was the
you
artist?
bugging, right?
Who was that artist that said where
It
they get
might
all
be.
these chicken wings from?
That was,
Nah,
that was Styles P.
Yeah, Styles P on the Breakfast Club. He said, "Where all these chickens coming from, B? We ain't ran out of chickens ever.
tell y'all.
Like, what's up?
They good. They some good.
Yeah,
They
get you
cooking them up in those factories.
That's where I learned about Arnold Palmer's. Messing around with you, we was at National. I was gonna say we was at National Chicken Wing Day.
Yeah, we heard
We was at a Native New Yorker, and he was like, "Let me get an Arnold Palmer." I ain't want to seem dumb, so I just waited till it came.
Lemonade and
Matter of fact,
tea.
PM was there too, and he was like, "Let me get an Arnold Palmer." He was like, "Let me get a Shirley Temple."
And
they-
Dave said, "Let me get water."
I played it cool. Let me get a Coke. Let me get a regular Coke. He was like, "Yeah, let me get a Shirley Temple," and they brought him a what is that, like Sprite with a cherry in it?
Yeah.
That's it?
Something fruity. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't do my pastor like that, bro.
No. I mean,
No, him.
bro. Shout out to Shirley Temple.
No, I'm saying fruity, like it has the cherry, like it's a.
Yeah.
Hey, PM, I
couldn't
got
tell-
your back, bro. I know you only watching the
couldn't
first
tell.
5 minutes of our podcast, Pastor.
The first two.
2 minutes, like, all right.
That's enough.
That's
enough
enough.
of these guys.
Hey,
Just
check
to
out.
leave a comment.
But I couldn't tell.
He about to say something smart.
If
Watch
it was
this.
anything else in it. But
He on one of y'all's right now about to say something about me.
yeah.
Not yet. Good. I got passed.
I got the ass. Nah, but speaking of Shirley Temples and Arnold Palmer's, you know what I'm saying, I actually created my own drink, you know what I'm saying? It's called a Brother David, if you didn't know.
What does that entail?
We on live, Facebook Live, so I'm not going to give out the recipe
And I need 5%.
Oh, yeah.
until I
need
you know what I'm
5%.
saying? I'm going to copyright it and send. You remember the old school, have y'all ever did that? The old school copyright?
Mail to yourself?
mail to
Yeah,
yourself,
yeah.
Man, what?
Yep.
I got stuff.
That's
in
like, it's like
envelopes to this
legit
day.
for real, huh?
Yeah.
No,
It
it's
is.
still
Yeah.
because it's not intellectual property, but it's property.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
It's
yeah.
proof. Yeah,
that
for sure.
that time what you
stamp.
call a stamp
Yeah.
on it. Yeah,
Like, even if-
postage stamp.
Like even if you record a song
Word.
and you share it somewhere before someone else does, that's still proof that you're the author of it.
Man, I remember this crack. We going everywhere today.
It's
we
on you,
we
man.
gonna get on track. No, it's cool. We gonna get on track. But that just made me think about this crackhead from my neighborhood,
They say the best things.
bro. He he used to carry around. Dang, what was that about?
Dang.
He used to carry around this like piece of paper with it was like the blueprint for caller ID on it. And he used to be like, I invented caller ID. I wrote up the plans for caller ID before caller ID even existed. And he used to pull out this piece of paper, and he used to have like, it had a bunch of like drawings on it, but you could see like the box, and you could see the phone, and he had like little notes written in. It was crazy. And like, I used to just think like, man, I wonder, is he for real? He used to be dead serious too. Like,
And I
telling
believe
y'all, I invented caller ID. Look.
But
And-
you want to know something? When the Bible says that wisdom come from the Father of lights.
Oh yeah.
Like it doesn't, like ideas don't just fall on one person.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, when you get the idea, like, you literally have to do everything within your power to execute.
Yes, sir.
You dig? Because
Absolutely.
you're not the only one with it. No matter how unique it is, I
Right.
promise you're not the only one
So,
with
minister, let's talk.
it. Here we go.
Because you talked about something that's real deep right now.
Okay.
Is that
So,
deep?
no, I'm about to go to, well, with you, though. I'm about to ride with you. So, you saying that somebody give you an idea, give you a thing to do. You spilled more coffee?
No. He teasing you. Go ahead, bro.
You making jokes? I didn't do it this time,
You
did I?
didn't do it this time.
So, he made a joke that I make sounds when I want to get smart. Here we go here.
Yeah, just like that.
Praise the
Go
Lord.
ahead.
But look,
Yeah, you didn't say it today either. Go ahead, bro.
I think I said it.
You definitely didn't.
So it's messed up. So you said the offer come from light. You just now said it.
Wisdom.
Wisdom come from the light, right?
Father of light.
Father of light.
Well, you know what? I'm sorry. All good gifts come from above. Yeah. So there you have it.
There we go. So, when you gonna accept that good gift that God gave you about preaching? Because you can bring the word,
There you go.
and I just wanted to make sure it was live, get it copyrighted.
Hey, nah, that boy definitely.
Well,
yeah.
you did all of that for this.
Get it
Like,
copyrighted. He said, since we speaking of copywriting.
So you gonna copyright the word? Like, what you gonna
I
copyright?
want to be the first one that said, "I he the bomb." It's now everybody done said it to you, but nobody have it on video.
Hey, hello. So now you could claim it.
I can claim it. Hey, speak that thing into existence.
Speak
Hallelujah.
what, bro?
Your anointing, your calling.
We all have that call.
Word.
Who?
All of us.
Where does that say that at?
Do you have revelation of the word?
Hey,
It's your responsibility.
it's our responsibility.
There you go. I know. Exactly.
Say, didn't I just say that to you? What we talking about, Dave? Come on, next time.
Right. Next topic, right?
You about to start tuning up.
After you got chopped up.
Somebody already said, what y'all gonna talk about? What y'all supposed to talk about?
Hey, fiddle with that the headphone thing. The headphone jack.
Right here.
Yeah. Like fiddle with the there we go. Like make it make it
Sound clear.
get us clear, brother. Twist it or something.
Producer.
Y'all shout out to janky equipment. You know what I mean?
Hey man, I love it.
Hey, I love it too. Because it's
Started from
somebody
the bottom
operating
of the
with less. Okay, it's somebody
There you
putting on
go.
a podcast with less. You
With
know
a
what I mean?
camera
So we
phone.
got hello. Shout out to all of y'all too. Camera phone crew. Hey, so National Chicken Wing. You know what? Here go another fun fact. I was gonna put this on temperature check, but I'm gonna just hit y'all with this.
What's that?
There's a new rap genre coming out.
It's coming at me.
It's called strap
Strap.
music.
Strap.
Yeah,
Heard a guy?
yeah.
And they're already out?
Strap. No, not like not
hear you. I
not
hear
gun
you.
music. You know what I'm saying? But like strap music, like
So,
it's a women's genre.
Oh, I'm not listening to that.
Next.
can't take it serious.
All right, temperature check. We can put that upon a temperature check.
Next.
No fever.
we don't care about that. We don't care about this.
Ice cold.
We don't care about strap music, huh?
Nope.
No.
All right.
What's next?
Well, so now we got a real topic, something that I would consider a real topic. Tucson students from the city of Tucson, they are actually advocating for a mental health day. They're advocating for students to have a mental health day. So, a lot of the students in Tucson, really across the globe, I would say as well, mental health is a new thing now, as far as it hitting the limelight, being
Right.
in the limelight. And so it's done caught on among the children in schools. And so they are expressing themselves now in a way, to where they are admitting having thoughts of suicide and having thoughts of, as far as like, I go days with being depressed, or, in my opinion, maybe not suicide, but in my opinion, some of the normal things that kids go through. Mm-hmm. And so they are advocating now to have a day, like a mental health day. I know part of that mental health day, because when you say something like mental, and you kind of made me aware of this yesterday when I mentioned it, when you say like something like mental health day, like that's room for a lot. That could entail a whole lot. Like, are we having mental health classes? Like, what are we doing on mental health day? Well, one of the things that they want to be able to do is not come to school. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Just
like
another day.
Yeah. Like take a mental health day and just kind of not come to school. So what do y'all think about that?
I think mental health day. I think mental health in children is something that needs to be addressed.
Okay.
But I don't think giving them a day out of school for them to be idle is the solution at all. I think the responsibility fall on educators, parents, the community to help them understand what they actually saying. And dealing with stressors or dealing with stress is something that you have to learn how to do. Like, we deal with so many stress, and if we didn't deal with the little minor stress, and excuse me for my word minor, but a stress is a stress. I understand that stress to you when you don't understand stress yet, or you haven't experienced a lot of stress just yet, may be big to you. But dealing with small stress so you can learn how to deal with bigger stress is important. So right now you may be dealing with, I gotta go to school and I got a test, or my classmates are picking on me, or I'm feeling a certain way in my spirit, or whatever it may be at that age. You're gonna get that, when you're 25, 40, 60, you're going to get some of those same stressors. And if you don't know how to deal with it as a teenager, or if you don't learn to deal with stuff, or set up strategies to get over that, you're going to fail in life. You're going to, if we just say, oh, hey, it's okay, you can get a day off. You're not going to get a day off when you're grown. From people getting on your nerves, people talking to you, somebody making you upset. You're going to be stressed out about how to pay the rent, how to get some got, how to make sure your lady good. I mean, there's so many things, and I just feel like we give too many kids so many passes. Like, they got fall break, winter break. How come ain't no mental health day needed in the summertime? Okay, how about you have it's only when it's something that's they don't want to do.
Whoa. So you're not totally against mental health day. You just don't think that a day out of school is necessary.
I don't think a day out of school is necessary at all, and I don't think labeling everything at this point is going to be key. I think everything because mental health is so broad and vast. Like, it's not something you can just break down and say, oh, his mental health, and you put it in this box. It's so big. Like,
that's true.
You can call mental health so many different things. So if I say mental health, I don't want you to then say, because I'm visually impaired and I'm sad right now that I'm visually impaired, I want to take a day out of school. And that's just me giving a small idea of mine. Like, when I started going blind at 13, I couldn't say, oh, I need a mental health day and I'm staying home from school. When school was teaching me how to deal with my blindness, they were sending me to a therapy class. They were sending me to a Braille class. They were telling me how to walk using a cane or using my feet without falling.
So let me ask you this, and you may have told me this before, but you went like gradually blind, like so your vision got worse and worse, or was it like boom?
I think it was all of a sudden. I think
Okay,
Dang.
you know how like
Man,
when
that's
you were in school.
overwhelming.
it's overwhelming, bro.
When you were in school and like you remember back in the day when we had the little projectors that the teacher would put that little projector on that hot box
Yep.
and
Yeah.
they write on it while it's on that box.
Yeah, for sure.
At first, the beginning of that year, I could see it. Maybe like let's say freshman year, the first half of it, I could see it. Like, and then by the middle of that first quarter, I literally could not see nothing on that projector thing. Like it'd just be a white light on the wall to me. And I was like, man, why can't I see? What's going on? So I don't know. It seemed like overall it just hit me.
Oh, okay. So maybe it was like gradually getting worse and worse, but once you realized it, it was when you saw the projector. Like, dang, hold up.
No, because it was like every day. I could remember literally going that same. That's what I'm saying. Even in this first quarter, first quarter not that long with
Right.
30, 45 days or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember like that when class first started, I'm unable to write, and then
Next
all of a
thing
sudden
you know.
one day I'm like, and like my mom was like, "Why are you failing this test? Why are you failing this test? What you can't see?" And she blew up the work on like basically one word per paper. Like, read this. What is it saying? What's going on? And I like had like a breakdown. Like my mom and I was crying on the couch, like I could uncontrollable crying. Like, I don't know. I hate my life. I want to cry. Like I don't want to do this no more. And I'm like, all it really was I did not know how to deal with the stress that I was dealing with for the first time. And if I didn't learn that I had to deal with that stress and go to school and endure, I literally, if I just said I'm gonna give up or I need a mental health day, if I didn't deal with it, I literally would have just been suppressing something that needed to be addressed.
You want to know what would be dope?
What?
If Mental Health Day, and thanks for sharing what you shared. If Mental Health Day, if they made it like a celebration, like within the schools, almost like a fair. You feel me? To where, and this in conjunction with what Mike was saying, but like a fair to where
ESPN.
you learn this about mental health. You just learn different aspects of mental health.
I can picture that. I
You
can
feel me?
actually picture that. Yeah.
But
like different booths around. Yeah.
But it's to celebrate the individuals along with gaining more understanding
people aware,
of what it is, because man, you make it another day, it's just like Presidents for the most day, Martin Luther King Day for the most day. It's like we don't really honor it. Man, we kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, what? It's an off day.
Check this out though, Rick. Mental Health Day. So if you it's like how we at work, we get days off that we can use. So they give us 4 days a year that you can use to take off. Or my mental health day is gonna be every Friday that I know I got a test I don't want to do. I mean, because everybody get them, right? You know what I mean? Like it's a paid day off. I'm gonna get all the good grades I'm supposed to get on that day.
But no, it feels like an annual day to where you just celebrate, because now you turn it away from bullying to celebrating people. And then when we gain more of an understanding of individuals that suffer from mental health, and like you said, it might it's so many levels to mental health. Like, just because you're struggling with mental health, it doesn't mean that you're in a slow class. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you never know what an individual is really dealing with.
That's true.
Or going through.
Yeah,
for sure. But if we turn the tables around from bullying to celebrating, then it'll become more easier for the next generation to understand their counterparts or their peers who are struggling in that kind of area. So I think it'll be dope if we utilize the day for education and celebration.
Yeah, I think that definitely should be like the focus, as far as education, celebration. I never thought about that. That's dope, though. I definitely would rock with that idea. I'm also kind of against, like, making it an official thing to where they get a day off. Like, they already get enough days off. You know what I mean? And then ain't no telling what other kind of rules or things that they could come up with that includes that day off. Like Mike said, next thing you know, that day off could be included. Like, oh, if you take that day off, you pass all your everything that goes on that day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man,
so,
kids will have
man,
FMLA.
yeah, right, exactly. You filling out FMLA forms, you 12, like, oh, this is for my mental health day. I need a mental health week.
That's very important to give it the due respect that's needed, though. Like parents,
For sure.
anybody that's a
For
parent
sure.
out there, people that have like direct contact with young minors.
Yeah.
Like we have to like respect their feelings, and I don't want to say like, just because I disagree with the mental health day, I still like want to give like due respect to like sometimes children are dealing with something, and us as older people, we can really put them off to the side. Like, I don't care about you, or you okay?
Yeah.
And we literally have to take time to know what's going on with them. Like,
Right, but I dig this. If we reflect on your story, you had to endure.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't take time off. You don't get better by, pushing it to the side. You get better by addressing the issue.
Yeah.
Addressing, understanding, and then responding. You feel me? So initially it was overwhelming to you. You said it, and I quote, "I hate my life."
Mm-hmm.
But look at you now. You
Yeah.
feel me? You said after they took you to this class, instructed you here, directed you there. You still had to endure and take these steps to move forward. Do we all need time to ourselves and breathe and not do nothing? Yes, that's healthy. For sure, we all need time to ourselves. However, we don't want to paint a picture to where you're handicapped.
Right.
That's not what we're pushing.
Yeah.
No, you're still a strong individual,
Yeah.
and you can make it happen. And I only say that just because I know you. I know you, and
Yeah.
if you can do it, anybody can do it. You
Word.
feel me? To
Word.
lose your sight in the peak of high school, what?
Man.
Like high school is life,
Bro.
That's
When you in it,
you're
when
in
you're
high
there,
school.
yeah.
Like your
Yeah.
world that's all it is.
Yes.
You feel me? That's all it is,
Yes.
man. So for you to have to experience that at that age,
High school
I
is
can't even,
life.
man, it's life. I can't even imagine,
Facts.
the overwhelming, pressure that you had to endure there, but it was necessary.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we have to teach our children that it's necessary to push through, to
Yeah.
endure. You feel me?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, speaking of necessary,
What is ice cream day? Oh no.
Chocolate milk day.
bro, I ain't messing with ice
I was
cream
about to
day.
say it better be frozen yogurt.
Yeah, for real. I don't even, yeah. If it got milk, I ain't really trying to
No,
mess.
frozen yogurt is safe.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
All right, for sure. I like sherbet.
My sorbet got my soul.
Wait, is it
What's
the
that?
difference between sorbet and sherbet? I thought sorbet was like the fancy name for. All right, never mind.
I'm a popsicle man. High fructose corn syrup.
Hello, yeah. Shout out. I'm definitely a popsicle man. You know what I mean? And shout out to popsicles. You know what I'm saying? All right. But yeah, speaking of what I say, necessary.
Yeah.
10-year-old boy charged with assault after dodgeball injury.
Oh man.
This shout out to my city, man. Shout out to my state, Michigan. I'm not sure if it was in Detroit or not. But little boys at school, they playing dodgeball. He hits a kid in the head with the dodgeball. Next thing you know, the mom of the kid pressed charges, and now the boy, 10 years old, that's probably like what, 5th grade, something like that.
Yep.
Pressed
Cool. How old?
charges, 10.
Yeah. Fifth grade.
And he is he got an assault charge now, man.
Well, he's not
10 years
convicted.
old.
But
Oh, you read?
no, I'm just saying the charging.
Well, yeah, it's definitely not. You're right about that. But I mean, to me, man, just
Still.
yeah,
sad.
it's man, it's so unfortunate that. I mean, obviously, it's unfortunate that the kid got hit in the head. And one thing about it, it's why it escalated or why it went so far into, the whole police needing to be called, which I think is something worth addressing as well, is the mother. This happened to the kid before where he got hit or he got injured, and he has some kind of I don't want to call it a disease, but maybe they called it a condition to where he can't really have too much physical. Yeah. Like, I guess he gets injured real easily. Now, I don't know how valid that is because that's what the mom.
It's a real thing.
Well, no, I definitely know that that's a real condition that you can have, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know how that. You know, some moms want to protect their children so
For sure.
bad that, you know, they'll give you something.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like,
But give her the benefit of the doubt.
I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know how valid it is that the kid had this, but she said something before, like the kid got injured doing something at recess time before, and she said that they really didn't address the situation, and so the second time when the kid got hit in the head, it was like enough is enough. So I'm pressing charges on this kid. Now, my opinion says that she took it out on the wrong
person.
on the wrong one. You know, she definitely should have addressed it with the school.
Yeah.
And she should have made the school follow up. She should have made the school address the first incident that happened. The kid probably shouldn't go to recess.
Say that. There it is.
That's it.
There it is right there.
That's it.
I can recall being like 5th grade, 6th grade, where this cat, Andrew Love, shout out to Andrew Love, if you out there, you probably out there somewhere. If you see this, man, you know what I'm saying? He was a good dude back in the day. But he had like a brain surgery or like some kind of head surgery. I don't know. He had like a scar down the side of his head. And like no recess for him. You know what I'm saying? And then after a while, he was able to, you know, come with us to recess, but it was like certain things that he just couldn't participate in, and we was all aware of it, and it was all good. You know what I'm saying? Like, he loved baseball. I know that. So we used to play like baseball, kickball. You know what I'm saying? And he would play that, and we would just be mindful, like, be cool. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want him to have an episode, or, you know, we don't want nothing to get reversed or anything like that. So I just think that should have just been handled like that. So I feel like the school was definitely negligent, but I don't care, man. Don't no 10-year-old deserve no assault charge.
Yeah, to even experience that, to go through courts and like charges
at 10.
No,
traumatizing,
man.
Bro,
It
that's
can be.
Time out, though.
And you know what? That can affect you mentally.
Nope.
It is. Wait.
That can affect
This
you
dude's
mentally.
on some time out though. Time out what?
Time out though, because like she said, like you read it, like you said, if I'm listening to what you're saying and going back to
You probably
some of
ain't
the
listening.
10-year-olds, I know because I don't listen well.
Go ahead.
Some of the 10-year-olds that I know though,
Oh, here you
back
go.
in the day,
What?
we used to be bullies.
But
And
okay, go ahead.
And
I'm
I
gonna let you
mean,
finish.
I'm just saying, I don't know if this, and I'm not saying this kid did this, but I don't think it's too far fetched. I know some kids would do stuff to the people they know they weren't supposed to.
Ooh-wee.
And if that child, 10-year-old, was intentionally throwing it at or picking on somebody because they have a handicap or their impairments, they need to understand, like, obviously, they're not going to arrest him and they're not going to go too far, but you need to be scared straight. You need to be checked. You need to, and I would understand blaming on the educators. I get that. Educators need to be held accountable.
Oh, he take offense because he an educator. I just peeped that.
No, yeah.
You mad? He like, hold up, dog.
Yeah.
Blame it on the educator, but I know some kids will sneak behind your back to do dirt.
Yeah, for sure.
At 10 years old, you mischievous.
Facts.
You
At
mischievous.
30 years old.
Yeah, that doesn't
I'm
change.
30 and
I
32.
mean, yeah, but still, though, like, not as mischievous as 10. You a little more mature at 30. He said at 30 years old. You must be 30, huh?
But this is 29.
He said, boy, holla at me in a year, though. You know what I mean? He gonna flip the switch.
But this is my thing. You
You
know
can be
what?
29 then again.
Again. Yeah, for real. But you know what? And I was actually going to say this earlier or initially. There's so many components that's not shared within the story. Like right now in this article right here. So, my question was he participating?
Was the little boy participating? Yes.
Oh, so now that's different. So that really annuls what you
what I
you just said.
Yeah.
If you're participating and dig this, it's similar to what you were saying with your partner Andrew Love. That's a smooth name. That's a player right there. I don't care.
Facts.
But because you gradually like you want to play, and it's like you can try your best to be cautious, but when you're playing, like things just happen. Like period, things are going to happen. Mike is right. Like when we were young, are we like bullies?
Mischievous.
Are we bullies? I put the words together.
Yeah, mischievous and bullies.
For sure, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
However, if you're participating in the game, and again, you can try your best, things happen.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate for sure, but things happen. Now, if he's participating, it's not on the brothers, the young man's fault who kicked the kickball at him.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to be inappropriate with my words, but I
Okay.
think the sissification, the sissifying, the punk-ish stuff, the punkinator, whatever words you want to use,
Okay.
of this generation is getting out of control.
I'm gonna use that.
It's getting out of control. Like literally, like I remember getting a
Sissification
freshman.
of the.
Sissification.
Hey, that's something else, ain't it?
I remember when we used to get like fresh haircuts and like you would get your head slapped so many times.
Word.
And it wasn't
Only with a ball
bullying.
fade. That's why I stopped getting balls.
Hey, he said that's why I stopped getting ball face.
But like, and
You
it wasn't
definitely had to
bullying.
scrap behind something
For
like
sure.
that for sure.
It wasn't bullying. I just feel like how we gonna have men that know how to protect their family? You don't do nothing
But
that
that's kinda
boys do. Like, oh,
I
don't
think-
push him. He's gonna get hurt. Like,
I think the era of scare straight definitely should come back, and I'm not just talking about the TV show. I'm talking about like that era, like you said, like where you can kind of scare a kid straight. You know what I'm saying? Like a kid is mischievous, and you can kind of take it to a certain extreme with this kid to kind of show him like this is what could happen.
Yeah.
Because I just don't, bro. I don't care. Like, even if with the kid participating in the game of dodgeball, even if the young man purposely bust him in the head, he don't deserve no assault charge.
yeah, you do.
Why?
I just don't think he
If you
does.
assault somebody, you deserve what comes with it.
But
like,
you 10 though.
Even at
so
that
if you
age.
still at 10,
I think
like,
the law, maybe I'm wrong, but I think the
Accountable.
law is for people who are mature enough to know better. People who should be mature enough to know better. And I think at 10, you aren't fully mature enough to know better. Now, do you know right from wrong at 10? Yes, you should. There are some things that you should know by the time you 10. But we just said it. 10-year-olds are mischievous. And so we just all agree, which means that it is to be expected for this boy to do something out of pocket. It's expected for a 10-year-old to get out of pocket. My son, 12, about to be 13, and I have to check him a lot of the times for just getting out of pocket. And it's not even a thing to where I'm just so upset at him because I know he 12. I'll be having to tell his mama, like, he 12. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all good. Like, just check. We gonna check him, and we gonna move on from it. You know what I'm saying? So,
but you can't.
We
check
hurt
kids
ourselves
anymore.
at 10.
word.
Like, let alone hurt somebody else.
Word.
Like,
So,
at 10 years old, we
yeah.
hurt ourselves, man.
yeah. So I just think that the era of scare straight, because I remember being like 9 or 10 and like threatening to like leave the crib or like, you know what I'm saying, writing in my journal like, I'm finna leave, I hate this place,
Yeah, I
or
left a letter.
just misbehaving in school to the point where my mom took me to a group home, but it wasn't like a regular group home. It was like a group home for like what do you call them, at risk children. You know what I'm saying? So it was like these kids were scary looking. You know what I'm saying? Like for me being 9 years old, like
being in juvenile or something.
yeah, like these kids were scary looking. Like they was I walked into the crib and it was like, and she was telling me as we was going there, I'm dropping you off. Like you want to be bad, you want to be big and bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
They used to add them at the Y. Where you could stay there.
It scared me. I'm not gonna say it scared me straight. You know what I'm saying? But
You didn't want to be
For
there.
that moment.
I didn't want to be there. Yeah, for that moment, it definitely. And then another thing, she walked me into the police station one time.
Oh, yeah. Mine was cold.
Like, oh, this what you want to? You want to do this? You know what I mean? Like, let's go to the. You know what I mean? And the police, they talked to me and scared me and yelled at me and
Oh yeah.
did all of that. You know what I mean? So
That was that
yeah.
dare.
I think that era needs to come back. You know what I'm saying?
I got cussed out by an officer, like in handcuffs, because my school was right across the street from a police department.
Word.
Like, I'm talking about, I'm in his office, he cussing me out. I'm thinking my mom's gonna tell him to stop.
Yeah. Hey, she was like, get him. She sat back, huh?
Man, real talk.
She
real
probably the one
talk.
hit him with it.
Real talk.
Hit him with it.
But hey, dig this. You want to know the blessing, and this kind of left field, but it's still relevant.
Mm-hmm.
The blessing. My folder got sent to the wrong department. So with that being said,
Wait, hold on. Are you admitting that you had like a rap sheet? Like,
I didn't have a rap sheet, but I was in there for a reason. I was
Word.
in the police. I
boy
was in
said
his
my
office for a
folder.
reason. No, it wasn't a rap sheet, but I mean,
boy
they ain't about to
had
just carry around paper. Oh, here it is.
hey, that boy.
You know what I'm saying? But
he
no,
got a
my
pass,
folder.
he said.
My folder got sent to the wrong department. It was in his department. I don't know what it was. And that, like I said, he chewed me out something vicious.
Word.
But I was supposed to do a couple years in juvie.
Wow.
And with it being sent to the wrong department, I got cussed out. But I was favored because I didn't have to do a damn juvie either.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying? But it did humble me because thinking about, like, dang, a year away, just, not locked up, but locked up,
Yeah.
for children.
Yo, locked up.
For
No, that's
juveniles,
definitely locked up, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I feel you. It does humble you, but
Yeah.
you know how it is, man. Once you get back into your element,
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
A couple weeks later, I was back at it.
yeah.
I was definitely back at it.
But no, 10 years old, man, he should not be charged.
Yeah, I ain't with it, man. That's crazy, man.
You hit my kid
Definitely.
with a dodgeball. And shit. All right. You ain't got to charge you. I'm going to get charged, though.
And that's, hey,
I threaten kids. Don't
You
put
wildin'.
I put money on your books.
Thank you.
He said,
And bring my kids up to see me.
No, I ain't bringing
I'm down. I'm not doing that. I don't care what you say.
Just send me a
I'm not
picture
bringing
of
your
them
kids to see.
locked up.
I'll bring some pictures. Like, here, draw your daddy a picture. Draw your daddy a picture and tell him it's going to be all right.
He done bust little Jimmy's head
Oh, you know what I'm saying?
to the white meat. You hear me?
Got my daddy locked up. Nah, yeah, so speaking of people's parents being locked up, you know what I'm saying? 15-year-old boy from New York, actually, wins $30 million.
Wait, speaking of people, parents being locked
Bro,
up.
go
understand.
follow me. Just don't question it, you know what I'm saying?
I said, what his parents do?
Man,
No,
what
no,
they do to
just
him,
go
bro?
with me. Just go
What
with
did they
me.
do to him?
It's like the era of the fake segue, bro. It's not.
Oh.
It wasn't.
Like, dang, did they kill him for his 30
Right.
million?
This
They
this
hit 'em
has
up.
absolutely nothing to do with. There'll be no parents locked up during this story.
Okay.
About to get very dark right now.
I thought this was like a dance story.
No, right? Nah. So, 15-year-old wins $30 million in a Fortnite competition. He was the best Fortnite player. You know, Fortnite is that video game. If you didn't know, I really don't even know like
Me
what.
neither. I don't know the dance.
I think it's a knockoff grand.
Well, it's a
Theft Auto.
couple of dances, but what is the game? Is it like a fighting game or like a shooting game?
Is
It's
it
like one of
Facebook?
those. It's like one of those like role playing type things.
I think it's like a computer game.
Oh,
Is
it's
it a
not
computer
Facebook?
game?
Is it a Facebook game?
No,
It's not a Facebook game.
a lot of people played on the social thing called Switch.
If you're watching right now, please.
But
let
you
us know
could
what
pay
Fortnite
it.
is.
You could pay it. You can play it through. It's only through game systems, or is it like one of those
It's
computer
on my
games?
PS4.
Oh, okay. So it's on PS4.
Yeah, but I don't. I don't
okay.
play it. The kids play it.
Yeah,
Not my kids.
not my kids.
'Cause I don't like that game.
They on
I
level
hate it.
10.
right. About to beat the game.
You can never catch me
Michael
playing
playing it right now.
that. Shit, whipping
Doing the
like that.
dance. No, but I definitely know it's a dance. I mean, obviously, I know it's a game too. I just never knew, like, what do you do? Like, how do you win? How do you even play? But this kid won 30 million. Top first place prize was $30 million.
The U.S. is so rich, bro.
15, man, bro,
To throw away
Seriously,
$30 million for a dance, a game.
for a game.
Hey, I bet you I know
the
who won.
U.S. is so who.
You
Chill
remember
out.
that meme when that little kid, when he was in trouble and he wanted to dance on the table, and his mom made him dance until he was crying?
Oh, I
Dance?
do remember seeing that. Hey, he was crying. He was so.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He was doing the Fortnite.
Yeah.
He said, "You want to
Kitchen,
dance?"
right? Like in the
Yeah,
kitchen.
yeah. You want to dance at school? He was like cutting up at school.
Yeah,
You wanna?
cutting up at school. Like, okay, watch this. You gonna be the best dancer.
Ah, she made that boy dance till he couldn't dance no
Hey,
more.
parents are extreme. Like this is a thing.
Very extreme.
So
Very
this
extreme.
is what like old school parents do or did.
Hold your hands out.
No. Dig this. Whatever you do, you
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
do
yeah.
it,
Right.
Bro.
You want to do it to the 10th power.
Bro,
Remember,
you
like,
wanna
people-
know something?
Hold on, I'm
My
about
bad.
to say what
My
you about
bad.
to say.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Like I remember somebody, a youngster got caught smoking.
Oh, you
I knew I was gonna say
you was
that.
gonna say that. I knew you was gonna say that.
I must have
And
told that
it's-
story a
Eat a
bunch of
cigarette.
times
No,
before.
wait, what you mean?
Go
Like you
ahead.
ain't the only one that witnessed that.
Go ahead.
But yeah, actually gave him like a whole pack of cigarettes and he had to smoke
Oh,
them back
wow.
to back
Yeah,
to
yeah,
back
yeah.
to back. Did he die?
I don't know. I don't think he died.
I think they.
I think he got real sick though. He
I know a
definitely
story of
got
somebody
real
eating a
sick.
cereal, eating a cigarette.
Like Tibet. That's my story, bro. My OG caught me, and I was an idiot, man. So she caught me in my room. I'm figuring it's late enough at night to where she was asleep, and so I'm in my room with the window up, with the spray. I'm spraying the spray in the room.
Periodically.
Yeah. Every now and again, I'm spraying the spray in the room, and I got the fan
Yeah.
blowing out
We are
the
very
window.
innovative.
So I'm smoking
Very innovative.
Black.
a Philly blunt. Not with nothing in it.
No, it
Just
felt like
re-
it was a cigar.
yeah,
Like you're a boss.
yeah, like I was a boss, all right, blowing it out my window like a boss, right? So she busts in the room, man. She tore me up. She took the aerosol Glade spray. It was like busting me upside my head with it. But then, and it was a Saturday night. So that next morning, you get up, got to go to Sunday school. She woke me up super, like earlier than usual. And she had a jug of water, like a Kool-Aid jug filled with water, a cup, and one of the leftover. Matter of fact, because I bought a pack, five come in. Hey, I was like, 5 come in a pack. 5 come in a pack.
You on one.
So I had, because it was 4 left though. So I cleaned it up. I cleaned it up. So she had the pack laying there, cup, glass of water. She said, "Eat them." She brought me in the den, sat me down on the couch. She was like, "Eat them," and I had to eat 4 Philly blunt cigars.
Smoking isn't even pleasant, especially at that age, because you don't know what you're doing.
You
let
don't
alone
know what you doing.
eating. Like what?
Bro, I had to eat them bad
There's
boys.
nothing cool about.
Nothing cool.
At least you cool somewhat.
Right. At least
Pulling
you
a
think.
cigar.
Right. But nah, bruh. She made me eat them bad boys. Man, that was so crazy, man. And she actually like consulted her friend, her male friend at the time, like how, like would he get sick? Like what'd happen if I made him eat them? You know what I'm saying? Like she told me this later on. Like,
He out cold.
yeah, he told her.
He out cold.
He told her it was cool. Like, yeah, gonna make him eat him. He'll be all right.
Because he got it worse.
I know.
That's what it is. Then he out cold.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, do you think? Oh my bad.
No, go ahead.
Do you think going back to that child, he should not have access to that money whatsoever?
No, he definitely should not have access to that money.
So that 30 million?
Yeah.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
You said it was in New York, right?
Yeah, and he's actually not.
Nice little tax.
Tax.
Yep.
You about to learn about taxes
it's
real
definitely
quick.
finna get taxed, but it's still gonna be some millions though.
Lord.
yeah.
But it's gonna
He could
hurt.
be
It's
set.
gonna hurt worse.
But he could be set.
I-
He is
horrible.
set.
I could skip to this part of the story since we talking about this. His mom actually threw away his Xbox. Obviously before he won.
The irony.
Right before he won the 30 million, she threw his Xbox away because it was interfering with his grades. Like he was failing school. And so she took the initiative and threw away his Xbox. Dude was spending 8 hours a day.
That's a full-time gig.
8 hours a day practicing Fortnite on Xbox. Entered into the tournament, won first place. My question is this though. Is this a new career? Like, should this even be a new career path?
It is.
Look, if you can make money doing anything
For
then-
kids, I mean though.
Yeah, but I mean, you go into like I said,
Why
Twitch.
not?
You got people doing the
video games.
the NBA, like the Madden stuff. They're making
Yeah,
they're making
like
millions of
tournaments.
dollars. Yeah, they're making millions of dollars a year just
America-
playing a video game.
America do spend a lot of money on recreation, so
Mm-hmm.
like majority of our money go to recreation.
So y'all are okay with, let's just say, Little Johnny. We'll call him Little Johnny because I actually didn't write his name down.
Yeah.
Y'all are okay with Little Johnny not necessarily having to be in school and just, stacking his bread up to the point to where, because I mean, you win a couple of $30 million tournaments, you could be set for life if you do it right.
Man, if you win one,
Yeah.
I'm saying you
You
win one
win
$30
one.
million
Sure,
tournament,
sure.
bro. For sure.
Sure.
Now, this is my thing. I'm not saying that we're going to be banking on my son winning $30 million in the 2K tournament, but if he's able to get $30K for playing a game that he plays throughout the day anyway, man, finish your homework.
Right. Get to that game.
And then we can get through it.
But we talking 8 hours a day.
Oh,
I
no,
feel
see, I'm
like
not-
that
I'm not
is
with
a,
that. No.
and so I feel like that is a very big factor as to why this kid won.
For sure, but it's
Because he was
tournaments.
practicing.
But it's tournaments. now, granted,
Talking about practice?
Right. He was practicing. He
Now,
was
granted,
big
people
time.
people play
Keep it
games
in.
longer than they think they do.
Right.
However, I'm sure it's people that have won tournaments and they didn't play,
That
practice.
much. They didn't practice that much, for
Yeah,
sure. For
yeah,
sure.
for sure.
I could agree with that. Second place prize, a duo won it. Like two kids won it. They split, or they each got 2 point. I don't know if they each got it or they split it. 2.25 million.
Cool.
Man.
That's the runner-up. The runner-up get 2.25 million.
Man.
You know what I mean,
He's set for life.
bro?
Cool. That's
If he do it right, because like you already know, like Rick said, he definitely shouldn't get access to the bread. But I mean, a lot of parents out here
yeah,
shouldn't
Barney.
have access to
That's true too.
dollars. Like it's like winning the lottery.
For sure.
It's exactly like winning the lottery,
For
and
sure.
you know what the life expectancy of a lottery winner's money is. 2
Short-
years.
Short-lived.
Yeah.
Yeah, year and a half, 2 years.
Yep.
Very short-lived. You blow through 100 million in 2 years, 30 million
I saw
in 2 years.
I saw it was an interview with a guy on YouTube. He won. I don't see how he did it, but it's obviously possible. He had $300 million.
Mm-hmm.
3 years done. Like,
Wow,
how
yeah.
could you, like 300?
Because you see, like, man, 300 million. You feel like that's gonna last.
Yeah.
Like you see 300 million, you feel maybe not us, but the average person is like, man, I'm straight for the
Going
rest of
on
my
trips.
life. So when people hit you up, it's nothing. You're like, I got 300 mil. Like here,
Yeah.
Just throw it in the
here you
bag.
go.
Yeah.
Throw it in the bag. You know what I'm saying? FABO.
Man, so Dick, and look at it on a small scale. Have you ever, you got checked, you got all of your bills paid. When you swipe that card, no matter how small it is, I'm talking about you go to the grocery store, you
Yeah.
get something for $1.50.
Yeah,
You go here $10.
yeah.
Go over here, it's 15.
Next thing you know, by
Not
the
even
end of the
looking.
day,
It's like, dang, what happened though?
yeah.
You feel me?
Yes.
Like without even thinking, just on a small scale.
Yes, bro.
So when you got access to this money, when you buy this, you're able to see not only this, but things that's in your, vision, over here.
Yeah.
Like you're able to see other things, but
Yeah.
you gotta be able to walk into those doors first.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like you don't just get a Ferrari.
Right.
Like if you can go buy a Ferrari, believe me, the way they treat you, they gonna talk the things that a salesman will talk to you about,
Yeah.
the neighborhood that the dealership is in.
Yeah.
Like so many other factors are gonna play a part. Like the woman that's gonna hand you a glass of champagne while
Word.
you signing your papers for
Word.
the Ferrari. You know what I'm saying? The parties. Like when you buy a Ferrari, you feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
So they may even bring up a party. Oh yeah, man. Such and such, man. They do it like this. Oh, they add this to the car.
Yeah,
man.
let's
you
do
gotta
it that way, yeah.
It just builds up.
Yeah, man.
So ain't no telling.
Next thing you know, 80,000 then turned into 150
Real quick.
right fast. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely,
That's
man.
interesting.
$30 million to
Yeah.
a 15-year-old. So y'all cool with, like career?
Like
cool.
so when you
Video
say
game career.
but so my child isn't going to be playing 8 hours a day on any game.
Well, he's going to need to practice. Like he's going to need to have set aside practice time every day. So what are you okay with?
I'm okay with a child learning a trade.
But he talking about.
I'm talking about video game though, like video game tournament.
Yeah.
But you know what? That would be on the same. I guess
2
that's-
hours a day?
I don't know, bro. I
You don't know?
I don't know.
I mean,
can't-
because look, now if we think about it, we pay big money to put our kids in baseball, soccer,
Yep.
football.
Yep.
So we do pay big money for all of these, extracurriculars for sure.
And it seems to me that this is more realistic than a baseball career, or well, maybe not baseball, but like the league, like football
NBA.
or NBA.
Now, where I would counter that, or I would have to refute, is because when you play actual sports, you learn discipline.
Okay.
So there's other benefits that come along with playing sports.
Right.
Teammates, failure. And
Right.
granted, playing games you can learn that too, but there's just coaches. Being obedient, listening to coaches, listening to instructions, your elders, all of that. So it's just other benefits that come along with it. But I would put this on the same level as like singing. Like singing.
Mm-hmm.
You put your child through, vocal classes, like what are the odds of your child actually becoming a superstar?
Okay. So I agree to an extent.
Okay.
Because singing, I agree as far as like singing. I wouldn't equate it to singing though. I would equate it more to like an instrument. Because if in fact you put hours of practice time in, it could be 2 hours. I was more than 1 hour. More than 1 hour of practice time in on an instrument every single day for some years.
Yeah.
You guaranteed, like it's cats out here, and you ain't never seen them on
Heard of
TV. You ain't
Yeah.
never heard of them,
Yeah.
and they clearing 4,500 a week,
Yeah.
clearing it
That's true.
easily. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that if you put in enough practice time on this video game stuff, you could probably clear. Because I remember years ago when the video game thing was picking up, cats was winning like 20 grand, a little 10 grand prize. So, I mean, if you make it a career to where you're going around in all these circuits and you're winning 10 grand here, 5 grand here, 20 grand here, I mean, that's a pretty good living.
But this is my thing, and I already have a rebuttal for it in my head. Like the health, though, like staring, like playing
That's a big deal.
the game like 8 hours.
It's a huge deal.
Now then, the flip side, like people who work in customer service, they're on a computer, 8 hours a day. So that would
We're still, that's not,
But
not
that-
healthy.
it's still not healthy.
Keyboard.
But we excuse it because you're making your living.
And that's why I said that would be the rebuttal. You know, I think with the child though, with their brain not being fully developed, like those are some of the things that we have to consider.
Absolutely.
Well,
And it's not even like mental, like even something physical such as weights. Like children shouldn't even lift weights until a certain age because they're not fully developed
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
You know, so
Yeah.
and that's just on the physical side of it.
Yeah. What say you, brother Michael?
I don't know if it's gambling, but
Oh, there's gambling, huh?
I think
Is it gambling?
I don't think it's gambling.
No, it's not.
I don't play.
Oh, is it though?
No, it's not, bro.
It's gambling.
How is it gambling?
Because it's like
I'm gonna go here and
we gonna play. I'm gonna play
for
against
this
you,
money.
and if I win,
Nah, it's
But
not.
no,
It was
I'm
100.
not. No, I'm
Yeah.
not betting. That's bro.
Oh,
You
okay.
going to a singing contest.
Okay,
It's
okay,
still
okay.
a tournament.
Okay.
So to speak, like
Feel
it's
you,
still
I
a
feel you.
tournament, but I'm
I
not
feel you.
betting. No.
cause Sunday
That's the
bet's not
prize.
gambling.
That's a prize.
American Idol not gambling.
Right.
Man, he's being funny right
Yeah.
now.
I
The
mean,
way
man,
he
it
said
made
it.
He's
Yeah,
reaching.
the way you
He's
said
reaching.
it, the way you
He's
said it,
reaching.
I already know.
He's
So
re-
now
he's
we're gonna
reaching.
move past that.
He's
No.
reaching.
But it's a contest. That's the prize.
No.
Right.
You want to
No,
know
because
who?
what I was trying to say to you is, and I hear what you're stating, but I know some of the like, just because I went to a few of these things, like entering
We all
into
have.
like an NFL Madden competition, you put $200 down.
Right.
into
Well,
it,
that's
and you
like
win.
side
That's
betting.
different though.
That's gambling.
That's different. He's not this.
Yeah,
child.
the kid wasn't gambling
The
though.
contest was 30 million. See what you're talking about is something different, and it's a tournament. But yeah, you have to put into it. Like you're betting on yourself like that. This right here, like this, you may have an entry fee. But the contest is this number.
Right, and
It doesn't change. Like
You got
The
an entry fee to
article-
get on a pinochle table.
the article actually did say that whoever was sponsoring the thing is the one who put the money up, put the prize money
Okay,
up.
you got me then. That's what it. I don't know.
The article actually did say that. I mean,
I can see where you're coming from.
I could see where you're
For
coming
sure.
from, but I don't think that the kid is at fault as far as like it being gambling.
You want to know who's betting? The person who puts on the tournament.
Word.
He's
Word.
betting on everyone
Yeah.
because he has to make. If he's
He gotta
able to
make it.
dish
He
out
gotta-
30,
Yeah. He got to make 30 plus for sure, or else it don't make sense, right?
yeah,
He gonna make it at least
$1
3 times that much.
Yeah, I agree.
and I agree.
It was
You gotta
100
make it back
contestants.
at least.
Yeah, it was 100 contestants. You know what I'm saying? Now, like you said, side bets and different things like that. I think that's different.
That comes along with it. It's just like basketball. Like
Right,
the
right.
players on the team, they're not necessarily betting, but they're competing.
Right.
However, the world outside of them are betting for sure.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
They don't get money from the bets.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily.
Right.
Not all the time.
Right. No, sometimes. Sometimes, though, right?
I miss a shadow too for 100 men.
So, right? Yeah, no, real talk. Blow the game. So, speaking of missing a couple shots,
That's a segue
For
right there.
100
when you say
mil.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
wait, we ain't talking about money, huh?
speaking of missing a couple shots for 100 mil, this is a little temperature check, though. Marines, like 18 Marines. Y'all heard about that? I think it was in actually California, if I'm not mistaken. But they got arrested. 18 Marines got arrested for human smuggling.
Yep.
Camp Pendleton? Was it Camp Pendleton?
I don't know. It was in California though. That's in California.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got arrested on the base. I mean, for human smuggling. It was a lot of
big
different charges. Yeah, drugs was one of the charges. Human smuggling was one of the charges. It was almost like a little operation that they had going on. And I do recall B. Irv kind of talking about, shout out to B. Irv too, man, playing hooky. But I do recall him talking about how it's like a little city in and of itself, like the base is like a little underground, dark, what you call that? what you call it, the illegal
Underground.
space.
Black market.
Black market.
Yeah.
It's like a little underground black market in and of itself. Like you can get anything, and so these guys got busted, man. Like I don't know. I just felt like that was newsworthy. What y'all think about that?
You said 18?
18 of them.
Wow.
It's nothing
Yeah.
new. That's for sure.
Right.
That's
right.
big.
Yeah. It almost made me feel like, man, they were sloppy because you never really hear about this. Like you know it's happening. This that to me is like maybe like if 30 employees in the GM factory get busted for bootlegging movies and cocaine trafficking. Like not to, I guess maybe I just told on some folks, but that's like a thing though. Like those factories be a little city in and of itself, like a little underground dark market, black market city. You know what I'm saying? Like you could get DVDs, you could get whatever you want, but you don't hear of nobody, like no rings are getting busted, like because it's super low key.
But you know what? It comes in spurts because there was a time where soldiers were bringing back drugs from
Absolutely. But we didn't find out about that until dude got out of this one particular thing that I'm thinking about.
Yeah,
so dude got out of the army and like he got busted.
But I'm talking about even when we were at war. What was that? The 60s? The 60s?
Yeah, it
we
was.
Vietnam?
In Vietnam.
Yeah.
You know, so or in the 90s when it got big, when we all caught wind that a whole lot of rape was occurring in the military. So it seems like it just comes in different spurts.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense.
The crooked will be crooked.
The crooked will be crooked, right? The crooked will be crooked.
And dig, it's a part of our nature as man. I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
like the sinful nature.
Right.
Like
you're right.
the Bible says that when you're not reprimanded immediately,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to continue to do so. Like you're going to continue to act. Once you get away with a foot, you're going to take a mile.
That's a fact.
For sure.
You
Why
speak-
wouldn't you?
You're speaking of something that I think like is deeper in this story. That's like it's a culture that's being bred. Like we did it this way, and like the story's being told. You do it like this. You come in. This is what's going. This is how you get this. Like it's a story. It's a lot, and I think a lot of people they getting away with murder, and it's never been called to the forefront. And I'm like literally like I have a pet peeve with smuggling people like people.
Yeah, that's a big deal,
It's
right?
a big deal, and I feel like they getting everything they deserve. They should be thrown under the jail, like people.
Or if they're going to be held in a brick for like
That's
the
a
rest
wrap.
of their lives,
It's a wrap.
it's done.
It's a wrap, huh?
It's
And they
done.
deserve every bit of it.
Like for one to be discharged from any military branch,
Mm-hmm.
it's like frowned upon.
Mhm.
Like you literally get a F on your back report card.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
literally get like a felony.
Dishonorable discharge for sure. Oh yeah,
or
like
can,
a F.
Or you can get like a felony.
Like a real F, right? yeah, that's
But
what
the
you call a real
the
F.
deeper thing is not only are they affected, but their families. They don't get no benefits.
Word.
For sure.
Like,
Word.
they're-
And people
all this
be
stuff is
banking
like-
on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's true.
they just messed up like a whole lot of people.
Man, here go a real, because this just made me think about this when he said got what they deserve. So speaking of getting what you deserve for real this time, what about the it's kind of funny, but it's kind of not. Actually, it's not funny at all, but it's gonna make you chuckle. Old girl that licked the ice cream.
What happened to her?
Oh yeah, she got arrested or something.
Yeah, they arrested her. She's facing 20 years, if I'm not mistaken. She deserved 20 years.
Nah, she don't deserve.
She don't deserve 20 years.
Not
She
20
licked the
years?
ice cream.
Was it at a grocery store? Like
Yeah. She
grocery
went to
store?
the ice cream aisle. Can you imagine picking up your Bluebell, taking it to the crib and eating it, and it was the one she licked.
And I'm sorry, and that's why I shouldn't have answered so quickly. So, what was the setting? So that's what she was doing. Like,
Yeah, she so they went to the ice cream aisle. She did it on purpose, come feel me, the whole clout chasing thing. Went to the ice cream aisle, picked up the thing, opened it up, licked it, closed it, put it back, and
That's
walked off. They walked off laughing.
That's a
And
new
you know
thing,
what?
though.
Honestly,
That is a
then I
new
have to retract.
thing.
I have to retract my statement because there's no telling what kind of diseases she may have,
Right.
and you can catch it.
That's
Right?
nasty.
And
But they-
then be effective for life.
The crazy thing is that PM and I were talking about that. There was a story. These kids in Florida, they were servants at a restaurant. 3 kids like caught felonies because they spit in food that they served to the cops.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I saw that. I
Yeah.
did see that.
I was like over some, like, these kids, like, would you
They
ever,
sure
when you were a
did that.
teenager, imagine going to the grocery store and spitting like in a
No.
bottle
I
of
mean,
Coke?
I done
And
did
then
The
some
close it?
worst,
things,
yeah, I
but
was going to say the worst I did was walk down the chip aisle and at the beginning of the chip aisle, eat the chips as I'm walking down the aisle, and then when I'm done with the chips, put them back in the aisle at the end of the aisle. Like, that's the biggest thing I've ever done as far as the grocery store is concerned. I saw another video where dude took the Arizona iced tea,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
cracked it open,
And spit in it.
and spit all
Guap.
good loogie. Shook it, put it back, and kind of trotted it off. He reminded me of DJ Pooh when he trotted it off. Remember when DJ Pooh got his
the
chain
car.
snatched? Yeah, and he trotted to the car. He trotted off the aisle just like that. I was
that's
like,
wild.
man, that's
I would have
disgusting.
died.
And that's,
Like,
see,
can you
I showed the wife,
imagine?
because she's always like, why you being like, because I check everything, bro. Like,
You have
containers
to.
and everything. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the reason why I do it.
You have
Because
to,
people,
man. That's
people are
true.
sick, man. People are crazy.
That's very true, man.
People are crazy.
But I blame the people that's taking it home. I think what you're saying, like, I don't think like, I think you just irresponsible. Like, who taught you how to shop? Like, you took that home and it was already open.
Hey, he said, who taught you how to shop?
Like, really,
But
like,
this-
irresponsibleness. Like,
Hold on, I gotta ask, bro. How many times have you grabbed like 4 liters of pop? Like at the same time, like carrying 4 liters. You cannot tell me that you was checking all of the tops.
Like,
Now,
I guarantee you this, though.
But here's the error. But let me say this real quick. Here's the error. If I open up the cap and I sense that it's been open previously,
I'm dumping it out.
I'm not drinking it. In
Right,
fact,
for
I'm
sure.
going to return it
absolutely.
for sure.
absolutely,
But, bro,
Irresponsibleness, man.
Not blame
Irresponsibleness.
no.
like,
Now to that point, yes, I feel
to
them on
the
that.
pop. Yeah, but that's pop.
No,
I
anything.
ain't anything, bro.
You can tell if it's been
Ice
open.
cream.
You can tell if it's been open, bro.
Oh,
no,
some
no,
ice cream don't have that thing on it. Now some do. What's it called? Haagen-Dazs. Haagen-Dazs got the plastic strip over the top of it, but a lot of them don't have it, and you can't tell that ice cream been licked unless you take a deep lick. You know what I'm saying?
That is true. That is true.
That's, the visual of that was
Right.
just crazy.
Because it just
Traumatizing,
freezes
man.
back up.
Right. So if you just look right quick, you know what I'm saying? What?
Man, people would just be petty.
People-
petty nowadays, man. The same people go to the store and they eat ice cream from like Cold Stone that have flies flying around. Like, come on. Like, get over yourself. Like, I don't think nobody deserves no 20 years for playing a prank and then you gonna literally like
So,
You-
but if
you
they had a
dumb-
disease and you caught it, then what?
I was dumb. I was literally gonna check my food.
Whoa.
Like, literally, I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna take a
Whoa.
can Arizona iced tea can that's been open.
No,
I'm
let's stick
gonna
to the
drink
ice
from
cream.
this.
No, let's stick to the ice cream.
Yeah, I think it is different. I
stick to the
definitely
ice
think you're
cream.
right when it comes to like certain things that had that seal thing on it. You know what I'm saying? Because even on the package of some of this stuff, most of this stuff says if this seal has been broken, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? So you know you got to pay attention for sure, and you wildin' if you don't pay attention.
Yeah.
But
With ice cream.
ice cream though,
I don't think I'm.
I'm not
Maybe
gonna
I'm thinking
put
about
a-
the ice cream I get. I
I'm
never.
saying, imagine
not gonna
ice cream
put
without the plastic strip.
a number on it. I'm not gonna put a number of years that she should get.
But she
But
definitely
She
should.
need a-
hey,
she need a healthy
if they
time.
give her 20, look, man.
I'm putting money.
Bet
on
she'll never do it
Thomas,
again.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
sending her
she's
ice
going
cream.
up for 20.
Yeah, she won't have ice cream for a while.
Yeah, no, she don't want to
We
see
gonna
ice
start a
cream.
GoFundMe page. I know that.
We'll start a GoFundMe page for her to what?
Free Young Lick ice cream.
Free young lick.
Ice cream.
Free young
yeah.
lick.
Man,
I'm gonna wear the
cats,
T-shirt,
it's-
too.
It's so many diseases you catch by just saliva.
Well, you know how many diseases you catch from just flies landing on your food, but we go to all them daggone
But we're talking about a
Cold Stones and
human
Moons.
person, bro. A
Do
human
anything.
person. A
Yeah,
human
you can't
person.
be any
As
type
opposed
of
to an alien
human
person.
dog.
Yeah.
Aliens exist.
But intentionally, like, bro, that's
what-
just like an individual
Bro,
who know.
look.
Hold on, that's like somebody who know they have AIDS and having
Heard
sex
me.
with everybody
Charlie Sheen.
That's assault.
raw. But that's the same thing.
He need to go to
Shoot,
jail.
that's assault. That's like attempted murder. That's
It's
a
the
lot of
same
stuff.
thing, bro. Especially if they have
Charlie
a
Sheen
disease.
got wrapped up for that.
Yeah, I think.
He was like, I'm
I
gonna get
think-
as much as I can while I
Hey,
can.
I'm gonna get as much as I can while I can. They knew it though. They knew what they was doing because they was extorting them. That's why it came out because them chicks was extorting him and he got tired of being extorted. He said, "Look, I'm finna just put it out there because I'm not paying you bros no more
He
money."
was getting he was giving up 10 or $20 million a year.
Yeah, he was paying them.
Oh,
Jesus.
oh yeah.
Yeah, he was definitely paying them. Like, look, I
why
need
you,
it.
That's why
I'll
you
pay
charge,
for it.
Hey, that's why you charge him $1.5 million for every episode.
Yeah, word. Because he got money to give out.
Bills.
With your bills, right? For real, for real. Speaking of bills, a little 4-year-old got bit by a bobcat. I feel like it was up north somewhere. A little 4-year-old girl and 4 adults that was with her got bit by a bobcat. That was a temperature check. Y'all care about that?
Yeah, that's crazy. Stay out of urge you ain't
That's why I
supposed to
keep
be
my
in.
pistol
Man.
even everywhere I go hiking.
Man, they was camping.
Oh yeah.
Out
Yeah.
there camping, little girl got bit. She all right, but everybody all right actually. But that's just crazy, man. Can you imagine seeing a
No.
bobcat?
No.
Hey, you know what? I wouldn't be all right. I'd have died.
Yeah, bobcat. Yeah. Hey, that's where. Now, so dig though.
A kitty
You
cat.
see? No. Dig. You see a bobcat attacking your seed though.
Man,
You
oh, it's a
gotta
wrap.
step up.
It's a
You
wrap,
feel me?
bro.
That
killing
bobcat
the
going down,
Hold
but
on,
I'm gonna
killing
die
the
with it.
Bobcat.
You gotta step up.
I'm killing the bobcat.
They got some long tails, don't they?
Yeah, bobcats are like not a joke.
Oh no, and they pounce too. They can.
Yeah. Bobcats are the real deal. Like they are the real deal. They're strong. They're not huge. They can get pretty big, but they aren't really that huge. But they are strong. It's just like those coyotes, man. Coyotes look frail, you know, like they're like the skinny version of like the wolf. But coyotes are not
You
a
almost
joke.
shot
They're
one.
no joke.
Like coyotes are strong, bro.
I got a
Like,
story.
Mean.
I got a story real quick about a coyote.
Let's go.
So I used to live on a Marine Corps base, and they had so many hills around our area, and we would hear stories about animals going missing, like from backyards and stuff, bro.
Yeah.
So there was this huge. My neighbor had this huge dog. Like it was one of those aggressive breeds.
Yeah. That's what you gotta have.
And they had a huge gate up. Like it was like maybe like 4 foot gate. Woke up one morning, dog was gone.
Oh, word?
Gone. Like
Wow.
and the kid, the whole family was
didn't
like
expect to hear
looking
that.
for it. Like he was gone.
Just
So happened that behind a big rock, found his body. Torn to
wow.
pieces.
Wow.
They,
Or
they
the
like,
type of coyotes.
yeah.
Yeah, had to been right.
Yeah, the pack.
Well, that's what
said
they do. They
They
use
definitely
it.
travel in
they-
packs.
they
They
go
do
in packs.
normally, yeah.
So
Yeah.
Those coyotes.
Every now and again, you will see one, or I know
no,
I
no,
see
for
them
sure.
off the 60. Man, I seen them a couple of times out here since I've been living out here. Like they be out here just by themselves roaming around. I seen one in a on the way to the church actually, in a complex, like in a like a shopping plaza, like one of the little strip malls. Yeah, just roaming around. He was actually on his way. He was crossing the street on his way to like the strip mall parking lot. Me and my wife looked at each other like, "Where is he going? Like, what is he doing? What
Looking
do
for
he
food.
think?"
Looking
Right?
for food to take back to the cave.
We done seen him off the 60. You know what I'm saying? Like walking off the 60 little exit, like just roaming around. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I see a coyote, bro.
So imagine
Getting
hiking
up out of there, yeah.
and
You in
know,
their element.
I fell right. This before we even saw the coyote. I fell and I just so happened to get up and I look up. It was like, man, like 15, 20 feet away from us. I told you, like,
He wanted you to be hurt, yeah.
be still. But he He wasn't paying us no mind.
Oh, no?
He was He was.
okay.
It looked like he was probably going back to his,
Yeah.
to his pride or
Word.
his pack.
The pack, yeah.
But no, I was literally about to light him up.
Word.
I was about to light him up, and she was talking about what if you get arrested? Like,
Hey.
do you want me in
Bail me
jail
out.
or dead?
Bail me out.
Like, which do you prefer?
Bail me
I'm
out.
shooting a coyote.
Word, because you know what I was gonna say is that when you dealing with animals like that, you have to be the aggressor. When you can't get away, like if you can run or get away, like get away for sure. But if it's in a situation where like that, like if it was any closer, it's nowhere to go, and he knows that territory better than you do. So I mean, wherever you go, like he know that rock right there, so he gonna hop. You know what I mean? Like he gonna get to you before you can get away. So I think you have to be the aggressor for sure.
Yeah, Old Yeller
crazy.
style.
Old Yeller style. You know they killed Old Yeller.
Shout out to the Cosby Show.
Right. For sure.
I just
Shout
saw
out
that
to B.
episode yet today.
Man, I'm probably about to binge watch the Cosby Show tonight. Now that I think about it. No.
Y'all talking about the criminal Charlie Sheen now? This girl.
No. Not speaking of criminals. Speaking of the Cosby Show. Shout out to the Cosby Show. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's like almost like a connection. You talked about womanizers in the military,
Okay.
womanizers on Charlie Sheen.
Hello. Yeah. Shout out to the Cosby Show. They shot Old
Oh,
Yeller.
Bill Cosby ain't do it though. OJ did it.
OJ didn't do it either.
He snitched on himself.
He ain't do it, bro.
Rumor says
He,
his son did it.
Well, what?
No, that's what they said.
How old was his son at the time? I feel like he had an adult son.
No, he had a teenage son.
Oh,
He got away.
nah, I know. Well, I don't know. I guess because OJ is a big dude, so I guess his seed would be just as big. Yeah, OJ didn't do it. Bill Cosby definitely did it. You know what I'm saying?
So much for current events.
Yeah, so much for current events, right?
Way back,
So
way
much for
Way back.
so much for cohesiveness. Last but not least, we could touch this real briefly.
Oh God.
Last but not least, speaking of current events, that kind of fit. Speaking of
the
current
only
events,
one that
it's
actually
the only
worked.
segue that worked. Speaking of current events, you threw me the oop on that one though. It's cool. Growing number of black or melanated people in Maryland and nationwide, actually, but this
I wanted
specific.
you to say nationwide.
Well, no, this specific story, you know why I put Maryland, so you know what I mean. It is what it is, but this specific story is out of Maryland, but and it is a nationwide thing. People are leaving the church. Melanated people, African American people, black people, whatever you want to call them, are leaving the church.
Indigenous.
Okay, indigenous aborigines, we gonna go there, are leaving the church for witchcraft specifically. Like for witchcraft. I just saw a video. Shout out to B. Irv one more time. He actually sent us a video, and it was a group of women that were pretty much into witchcraft. They had left the church for witchcraft, and they were okay with what they were doing being called witchcraft. Like, it's like, yeah, this is witchcraft. I am a witch. The reporter asked the young lady, "Are you a witch?" She said, "I'm whatever the situation calls for me to be." It's like, okay, what the heck does that mean?
Paul said, "I become all
Oh,
things."
All right. Let's leave Michael's role to Michael, bro. What are you doing right now? What are you doing right now?
I appreciated it. I'm like, yeah, he did.
He did.
That's in the word.
I'm just saying, I had to throw that
Yeah,
curve.
y'all wilding right now. Paul
That's
definitely
called
said
pulling the Michael, ain't it?
that ain't what he meant. Yeah, that's definitely, he just pulled the Michael for sure. That's definitely not.
I think I'm gonna have to be American on this one.
Not right. I need y'all to take opposite roles for sure. People are definitely embracing witchcraft though. Like,
No. See here, brother. So, yeah.
No?
This is
You
weird.
saying
Trying to be
people
like me.
Don't do it,
Trying to
bro.
be like me.
I just
not
do
even right.
want to say this right quick though, because the video is actually pretty funny.
It's comical.
These women they have gorgs, like squash, the gorg fruits or the gorg vegetables, squash, the pumpkins, and they were actually taking them and like.
Rubbing them on each other, man.
Yeah, but they weren't really touching each other with them though either.
No,
though
they were.
Blessing themselves.
They were.
Yeah, some of them, but I saw one specific lady, like she had the squash and she was like, yeah, it was almost like blessing you. It reminded me of Catholicism where they take that smoke thing.
The incense.
Yeah, okay, the incense, my bad. Hey, bro, I never
made
been
it bigger
Catholic.
than
My bad. But they take the incense and they like whirl it around you, like the power of Christ compels you. And that's what they was doing. That just was so weird to me. They was like they cooked eggs, spinach, and something else.
Asparagus, wasn't it?
Probably. But they offered it to the gods. Like they were on behalf of this one sister who I guess wrote into them and said, I need to find a man. Help me find a man. And so they offer eggs and spinach and
Way to a
asparagus.
man's heart is through his belly.
Hello.
Eggs
To
and
the god.
spinach though. Like what God, false God?
Right,
are you, man?
right.
He
Like,
gets strong.
Well,
like
false
Popeye.
guys. It was one of those African gods too. Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. But what do you like?
Let me say this.
Say this. Say it.
I think one thing that we us as a people, and I'm speaking about black people here, is we suffer with such a self-identified in crisis. When we want to reach back to anything, and because we have been told so much that we're from Africa.
That's deep. Self-identifying crisis. You can. I want you to definitely finish what you was gonna say, but if you could speak more to the self-identifying crisis, like what do you mean?
Like we literally don't know who we are as a people. We attach to so many different things. We become all things. Like just because we in an area, like I'm from here, so then we just attach to whatever. Like, and it's whatever we want to be. Like we hear Buddha was black, so then now I'm a Buddhist. We hear I'm from Africa, so I do African things, or I'm black and I shouldn't be serving the white God, so now I'm Muslim. I'm like study, or like I don't know. We so like I have came to. I'm so knowledgeable, and
I was gonna say that because the thing is, people are actually studying, and that's to me the scary part, because it's what are you studying? So you grow up in Christianity, you know what I mean, and because there are questions that you have about Christianity, or there are maybe some things that you witness coming up that you maybe didn't agree with, or you maybe didn't understand, and so you're seeking something else. That's a very popular thing for people that used to be Christians that aren't Christians anymore. They were seeking something higher. One of my favorite rap songs that I used to listen to was an AZ and a Nas song. And in one of the lyrics on AZ's verse, he talked about how he was born Baptist, but he sought a higher practice. And so he ascribed to, you know, that New York thing. What's the New York thing? It's like Muslim. Yeah.
5%.
Yeah. 5% of the guys are nurse and all that. So, I mean, these people want, I guess I could say more. People want to go deeper. I think that's right what I wrote down. Yeah. People definitely want to go deeper. What do y'all think about, because it's always, people always talk about the separation, maybe not the separation, but like, it's separation, being, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual.
you can't have one without the other.
You can't have one without the other. Could you speak more to that? Or is
Yeah.
it that just that simple?
No, so dig this. Spirituality means that you have a relationship to something that's spiritual.
Okay.
All right. So me being a man of God, I am a man of God. I'm born again, man of, meaning I was birthed again. Man of God. God is a spiritual. Jesus is a spirit, right?
All right.
So me having a relationship with him Relationship indicates that I frequent, I have frequent conversations. I visit. I spend time. Religion means to practice, to do. So, studying the word religiously meaning is that that's a part of your routine. All praying, right. You're not praying to anything. You're praying to God, who's a spirit, but that's still something religious. You dig what I'm saying? Now, you can do something religiously and it not be attached spiritual. So, man, you go to the basketball course religiously, because that's a part of your routine. That's a part of your practice. But if you're going to be spiritual and religious, you can't separate the two. It's a relationship. Because you won't be spiritual for long if you're not being religious. You did what I'm saying? You won't be spiritual for long if you're not being religious, meaning that you're not practicing,
So, okay, I hear what you're saying. So regardless of what, like,
you about to say it?
I think I'm about to say it. If you like ISIS, let's say you worship ISIS, that's spiritual and religious.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not serving the spirit that's like the one and true God,
right?
Jesus Christ, but you're serving a God. That's why they saying they serving some Ethiopian or Egyptian God.
Yeah,
and they're real. Them spirits are real. Demonic spirits are real.
Yeah,
and that's why I made a joke earlier when I said the devil came up to Jesus and he said, "Bow down and worship me, and I will give you this."
Yeah,
and them demonic spirits want you to bow down and worship them.
Yeah,
and if they were bold enough to tempt Jesus, what you think they doing to us?
Right.
Yeah.
So they being tempted and being swayed by these demonic gods, and these demonic gods are winning. And like I said, our identity crisis, our crisis.
Yeah.
The Bible say we need pastors.
Yeah.
We need pastors for what?
To lead, reprove, rebuke.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you sitting there and you got pastors that don't know God and they in the pulpit and they blaspheming the Holy Ghost, they doing what everything else they don't need to be doing, call themselves pastors when they don't even meet the criteria to be a pastor, then they're out of line, out of order, and they're sending people to hell, and they're out of control. And that's what the church. That's when the church come in. That's when it take times like this for us to be on podcast to call spades a spade. Like, you out here and you doing wrong, you serving a false god, you playing with stuff that you don't need to be playing with, and it's time out for saying you can participate in anything and it's not going to have a spiritual hold on you. You can't participate in everything. Everything's not for you. Like, that's demonic. It's demonic, and we don't even we just let people do. People stupid, man. I'm spiritual, but I ain't religious. All right. That's why you sit there and look at them zodiac signs. That's spiritual and religious. Man, I drink.
And you shit.
And I drink, and then I go do some weed and I drink. That's a spirit. I have sex. I go to club and I hump, and I want to go to the club the next week and I hump some more, and I want to see if I can sleep with every girl. I just wish I could every girl in the world. Like, that's a spirit. Yes, you're spiritual. Demonic spirits.
And dig this, I was definitely going somewhere else with my statement. However, I can kind of see
where he's coming from.
Oh yeah, where he's coming from or where he's going somewhere. One of the two, coming or going.
I went and I came.
But this is but one thing. But one thing for sure. When you're engaged in a particular realm, you're going to practice. You're going to use the tools that are required to be, I guess, masterful in a sense in that realm. So when you're in the streets, when you're in the underworld, you're going to do what's necessary for you to be the best.
Okay.
And it's not just one thing. You feel me? You're always practicing, whether it's your demeanor, whether it's your response, your behavior, your attitude, they all the same. Your hustle, I do this, I rob, I slang this, I whatever your hustle may be.
Right.
You feel me? But you practice it to be better at it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I see where he's kind of going, but my point was Christians primarily saying, you know, I'm spiritual but not religious. And I know why they say that, and it comes from the tradition. You know, they don't want to be traditional. They don't want to wear the suits.
People look at religious as being traditional. That's very
for
true.
Sure. And that's really where they're coming from. But as Christians, you cannot be spiritual and not religious. It doesn't work.
I'm gonna make holy great again.
Hey,
Oh, holy hasn't stopped being great.
Make
But I
holy
know where you're
great
coming
again.
from, though. I know where you're coming from.
make holy great again.
I am.
No movies for you. No bowling for you.
No bowling for you.
No red lipstick. No shorts. No
No
hoop
shorts for you.
earrings.
No sandals for you, buddy.
Sandals. No, I'm making holy great again. I'm about to walk around here straight. 1962. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man,
I miss
hilarious.
this, man.
Hilarious. I know, right? Yeah.
Real.
To make you miss it after a while. You ain't been here in a minute. For sure.
Make holy great.
What? Because what happens is,
Don't nobody steal my T-shirt.
hey, make holy great again.
It's in my heart.
What happens is, the older we get, especially if you were raised up in church, the older you get, sometimes, obviously, the more disconnected you become, because you look at things, maybe I would say from a surface standpoint, and because you can't understand certain things, or because you do have certain questions. I've spoken about this before, where you have questions and you may be bold enough to ask your question, and then you get shot down or shut down because there's a thing from the old church for sure that talks about how you can't question God. Don't question God. You know what I mean? And, you know, and that's why I'm saying, like, being bold enough, you know, because you hear that even without asking the question. You hear, you know, you don't question God, and so it's almost like a fear thing. Like, you're scared to question God, almost as if God is going to punish you for questioning, when the Word says the opposite. Says that if you ask Him, He'll give you the knowledge, upbraideth not. Which means He will not ridicule you for having questions. You know what I mean? And so,
That's in James, right?
yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is. And so, yeah, man, like, what do we say to people who grew up Christian, or have been exposed to Christianity and have left Christianity because questions weren't answered, or they felt like they needed something deeper? What do you say
Talk to
to
God.
that person? You tell them to talk to God?
Man, you gotta talk to God. You have to go back to having a relationship. Now, of course, I'm not just gonna say, go talk to God. Of course, you know, we'll talk, but you have to direct people. You gotta direct people to Jesus. Like, ask Jesus. Like, and I tell people this. Like, He talks back, man. God talks, and He's gonna talk in different forms, different ways. And we talked about this on a podcast, I think, last week. But we have to be able. We need to pray for discernment, so when He's speaking, we're able to detect that this is the Lord. It may be a stranger,
Absolutely.
you know, saying something just out of the blue, but it resonates with you. And we have to be able to recognize when it's the Lord speaking, but we have to talk to God. Ask Him, what are you saying to me, Lord? What, Lord? What is it? And then at the same time, we have to be, and I say responsible enough, because if we really care about our lives and our future, we have to, you know, take caution with everything that we do, and with care. So if we're responsible enough, we're going to be obedient to His word, because He knows the beginning from the end.
Absolutely.
So when He talks, and that's what happens. See, we hear a word from God. We hear it from a messenger whom we don't want to hear from.
Right. And we're not responsible enough to.
Because remember, the flesh and the spirit wars with one another. So when we hear a word from another man or a woman and it cuts, by nature we repel. We don't accept
Deep.
or receive.
Good
You
stuff.
understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. I think one of the biggest faults or just a big inappropriateness is just that, like, as far as like you seeking something different or you seeking something deeper and you go outside of, specifically I'm speaking to Christianity because I don't want to make it like this blanket statement. If you are a Buddhist and you want to go deeper, you know, stay in Buddhism and seek deeper into Buddhism. So I want to definitely speak specifically to Christianity, that if you are Christian and you feel like you need to go deeper, or there are questions that you have that you don't want to answer, questions that you have that people don't want to answer, or whatever the case may be, don't go outside of Christianity trying to look for something deeper in Christianity. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really doesn't make sense. Like, you know, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. So what I would say is you have to search deeper. You have to, for one, for sure, you have to ask God, because the word says that, and the word is not a lie. And so you'll see the word activate for sure if you simply ask God, Jesus. And so I think another thing, though, is there's nothing wrong with asking people as well.
Sure.
You know, man, social media is full, so you do have to be careful. But social media is full with people that know the Bible and are well versed and can lead you into a right direction as far as the questions that you may have. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole white man's religion and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, people are so misinformed because they take what someone else has said and they run with it without doing research themselves. And you will go to hell, man. You will go to hell messing around with some other stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you outside of Christianity,
playing a witch,
dibbling and dabbling, talking about
witch.
talking about witchcraft, man. Like,
Yeah, I just speaking on that, bro.
Crazy.
I hate to interrupt you, but I
It's all good.
saw the greatest
done.
meme like ever. The meme said eternity is too long to be wrong.
Word.
Like, and I just imagine that, like, you thinking that you say you left Christianity,
Word.
you following this witchcraft stuff, you go to hell forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Eternity is too
And
long to
guess
be
what?
wrong.
You're still gonna have your memory, and you're gonna think back. I used to believe in the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Absolutely.
one thing that I just think what you got to do to answer your question, like one thing that we have to do when we encounter these people is to do what Rick did, like break down. Like sometimes I think people are willing to learn if you're able to give them. I think it's called like exocysion when you break down the scripture or break down the exegesis. When you break down something and you give it to them the correct way, like you're not just saying it, spitting off, by the tongue. You literally broke down what each word meant and the root of the word and why it meant what it meant. I think sometimes we're not in our word enough or in a dictionary enough to say this is what it is. Like sometimes people speak like they so smart and they can't even break down a certain word as is or that. Like, come on, like we just not. Just let people tell you anything. Like, stop running with somebody else's knowledge and like open a book for yourself. Like,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Know the Lord for yourself, man. That video was It was funny, but it was disturbing at the same time. It was crazy. I was like,
The
man.
devil will make you look stupid. The devil
Oh
will
yeah,
make you
he
look crazy.
will. He will.
And I just watched it,
You
like,
won't even know it.
Yeah, you're rubbing fruit over each other, and then you're gonna cook a meal, and then you're gonna put it in another room under a step. Like, no, man, I want
She
to eat
put
that
the
stuff.
she
Like,
put the eggs.
What are you doing, man?
She put the eggs underneath the steps.
Come on, man.
And then they threw some dice. Like they threw 4 dice.
Bro, that was
And depending on how the dice landed, and they weren't real dice, but they looked like dice. They was like, I don't know what was on them.
Hey, bro, I know these. It's this one group of people. It's like a sect of people. I can't even remember the nation, but so one of their leaders actually went to go speak to their God on a mountain, right? Went to speak to his God on the mountain, just having like a face-to-face conversation. And the sect of people, this nation, bro, they built a golden calf. Bro.
Look at them. Word.
Like build a goat, like your God is like right there though.
Yeah.
And they built a golden calf, and
I think
although
I think I heard this story.
yeah, you probably saw it in the news, an article. Or something.
Word.
But this guy has led them out of bondage, right?
Yeah.
Led them out of bondage.
Yeah.
Guiding them through a wilderness,
Yeah.
moon by night,
Yeah.
sun by day,
Yeah.
feeding them
Food
this
out of nowhere.
This food, it just presented itself. It's like it just existed because of their God, right? They built a golden calf and worship the calf, while their leader is literally getting instructions from their God on what to do.
Crazy.
Foolish, huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
These
I don't
dummies
know.
out here.
I just saw that. I don't know.
Nothing new under the sun, right?
Yeah, man.
But is it right to call him a dummy?
Foolish.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just feel like they just...
Is it right to call them a dummy?
Cause these dummies out here, man.
They out here, ain't they?
Just doing
man,
anything.
When you allow the enemy to use you,
He gonna use and abuse you.
that's what's gonna happen, brother.
Facts. Hey, shout out to Derek Johnson.
My main man.
Yeah, he said, what's up, fellas, man? Y'all ain't even answer a single one of my questions off the last video.
Blind joke.
So, blind joke, right? So, I guess I'm gonna have to go back and watch the video.
Was I here?
Yes.
Yeah, the last video, brother.
Oh, I wasn't.
Hey, what's that? Everything cool over there?
It's just reconnected, but you're still live.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna go back and look at some of the questions, man.
It was Dave, bro.
You must have not was asking them as the show was going on, because I think we answered all the questions from like that was popping up live. But I think I did. No, that was another video. I'm gonna check it out.
Well, you know, you could text us. My
That-
phone work.
No, that is true. That's true.
Yeah.
Definitely hit us, especially if we not answering the questions, because that's why I got this thing sitting right here, so that just in case somebody have a question, I could look over and read it and answer it, or even a comment. So definitely make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We done. You know what I mean? We done, man. If you made it this far,
This is far.
this is pretty far. Round of applause for you. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you for joining us. This has been the Honor Among Men podcast with Brother Maverick, Mr. Maverick. I'm Brother David. Mikey Mike in the building. Drew Younger in the building.
Baby.
And like, subscribe, share, comment. We love you, man. We are on most what are they called? Social media platforms. SoundCloud, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, The Flowers Now Network, all one word. We'll see y'all next time. We love y'all. Peace.
Peace.